Chances are in the next 2 years, if you buy yourself a smartphone, it's probably not going to have a headphone jack, meaning you're going to need some wireless headsets. Hi everybody, it's Andy Barrar, aka Handy Andy, your DIY tech guy. And today we're going to be doing a review of 2 wireless headphones from a company from Sweden called Happy Plugs. We're going to be looking at the Air1 ANC and also the Air1 Plus. Now these are a little bit different headphones, each for a different type of person. So we're going to help you explain which one is right for you. But before we do that, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the design of each of these headphones. Now the Air1 ANC comes in a variety of different colors. I have the black version, which is actually the one that I prefer. When you look at it, it kind of reminds you of the Apple AirPods Pro. The stick, the end on here, is a little bit smaller than the traditional AirPods, so they don't really stick out as much when you put them inside your ear. The case is actually really nice, and everything is constructed by plastic. And when you put it into the case, you basically just has a perfect little docking station where the stick goes inside first, and then it sits nice and snug. On the bottom of the case is where you would charge the actual case through a USB Type-C, and there's also a button to tell you how much charge is left inside the actual case, because when the earbuds are inside, they're going to be charging, and we'll talk a little bit about the battery a little bit later. Moving along to the Air1 Plus, this is a little bit different design, because what you'll notice is that I think for most people, they're going to assume that this is the Apple AirPods because they kind of look the same with their white finish and with that long stick end on the bottom over here. Now, the interesting thing about the Air1 Plus is that they have 2 different versions. You have in-ear and you also have earbuds. And I'll explain a little bit of what that means. But one thing that I should note is it comes with these little silicone tips that you would put on there. And the reason it comes with this in the package is that it helps a lot. When you put it inside your ear, it just really helps it stick more, because if I was to compare the Air1 Plus to the Air1 ANC in terms of the placement and how it kind of sits snug in your ear, the ANC does a way better job. So with the addition of this little plastic or silicone tip, it actually lets you sit inside your ear, and then as you move it around, it's not going to move all around. Now, that doesn't mean that you should be like going running or trying to play like football or something like that. It's probably going to fall out if it kind of gets touched, but for the most part, it does stick in, and it doesn't go inside your ear. It just kind of sits on the top of the ear, meaning you could probably wear these all day without it being fatigued, which is great if you take a lot of calls and you like to work with your hands. You're going to be able to have that flexibility and without that intrusiveness, provided you don't mind this look, because it's not for everybody, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Now that we've had a look at the design of these 2 wireless headphones, let's go ahead and talk about the battery life of each. Now, when it comes to battery life on wireless headphones, they've come a long way, because in the early days, they only had 2-3 hours of charge. With these ones, you're going to get some interesting charges. For example, the Air1 ANC gives you 7 hours of wireless battery power with ANC off. If you have ANC enabled, that goes down to 5.5 hours, which is pretty good if you ask me, because the way that ANC works is it requires more power, and it's only dropping about 1.5 hours from the 7-hour full charge. With the Air1 Plus, you're going to be getting 6.5 hours of battery and about 120 hours of wireless standby time. That means once you've had it charged, of just leaving it around and then picking it up. Now, the thing you got to remember with these wireless earbuds is that once they go in the case, they start charging, because the case has a battery in it too. So you charge the case charges the headphones, and when you put the headphones back in, they will charge them. So every time it goes in the case, it should get charged. One thing that I noticed about these is that I get so used to the case charging it that sometimes I don't get into the habit of charging the case. So what I've done is have a dedicated spot in my kitchen where I can charge these. So when I'm not fiddling around with them, they have a home, and at that home is a USB connector to make sure that these are charged overnight. Now that we talked a bit about the battery, I just want to talk about using these headphones because it's really interesting. I had a chance to compare two different headphones from the same company at the same time. Let's go ahead and talk about the performance. One thing I noticed is that when I had music on a Bluetooth speaker in my kitchen and I had the Air1 ANC inside with ANC on, I could not hear the music. It was only when the song ended that I could hear something else going on. So the ANC definitely works. However, in the other modes, the transparency mode and their like default mode, I couldn't really tell the difference, to be frank with you. So the ANC works, the transparency mode and their default mode, you're not gonna be able to tell the difference. Or at least I couldn't sonically inside my own ears. Another thing I like about these is they're really made for like active people. Once it's inside, you know, it stays inside your ear. I was able to jump rope. They do have different adapters that come in the case, and I highly advise you to go and play around with them until you get the one that fits your ears perfectly. A lot of people don't do that, and then they start blaming their headphones, and you have the adapters right there. You might as well use it. Another thing I noticed about the Air1 ANC is that it has a lot of low end. And I think that's because it sits right inside your ear. So that bass is resonating inside your eardrum because it's going right into your ear canal. With the Air1 Plus, I didn't hear as much bass. And that's because it's just sitting at the front of the ear canal. But once I pushed them in, I could definitely hear more bass. In fact, once I pushed it in with the Air1 Plus, it really sounded like the Air1 ANC because of that snug look. So I'm pretty much imagining they have the exact same type of speaker in both of these headsets, and it wouldn't surprise me since they're both Air1, except one has ANC and the other one doesn't. Now, when it comes to picking one of these over the other, I'm gonna go with the Air1 ANC. And it's not because of the ANC. In fact, I just like the look. I'm not a big fan of the long stick, the Apple AirPod look. You know, I see it all the time with people doing interviews on TV and stuff. I don't know. It's just not for me. It's this long stick, you know, walking around like this. First of all, if you wear this, everyone's going to think you're wearing AirPods anyways, you know, but you know, you could use this for Android phones. So they might get confused. Like, why are you using AirPods with your Android? And then you have to tell them that you have a Happy Plugs, but it's not for me. This look is not for me. The fact that this is black kind of matches my hair. It can sit inside my ear and it's not that noticeable, which is something I prefer. I don't like the white for some reason. I don't know. It's just not a good look for me, I guess. So for that, the small stick, the fact that it's black and it sits inside your ear for ready for active wear, I think I would have to pick the Air1 ANC over the Air1 Plus. That said, I know a lot of people like this type of headset. The fact that you could wear this all day, it's not kind of getting in the way because it's just sitting at the front of your ear canal. It doesn't really bug you, and you could take calls all day long. You know, I can see why people would be appealed to something like this. If you do get this, definitely put on that little silicone wrap. In a lot of ways, it's kind of like a condom, okay? But you got to get it on nice and snug, and then it goes inside your ear, and it doesn't really move around. So I highly recommend, if you do get the Air1 Plus, to make sure you put on that silicone tips that it comes with. That is going to let it sit inside your ear and just make it feel more comfortable. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review for Best Buy's blog of the Happy Plugs Air1 ANC and the Air1 Plus. These are both excellent wireless headsets that are really going to add a lot of value to your life because you can take calls, you can listen to your favorite podcast or music for hours on end, and once they're inside the case, they're going to be recharged. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review of the Air1 ANC and the Air1 Plus. These are two fantastic wireless headsets that are sure to impress. You're going to be very happy with the audio quality and also the speaker that's built inside. If you like this review, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions for me or you just want to get to know more about me, you can find it at handyandymedia.com. Once again, it's Andy Barrar, aka Handy Andy, your DIY tech guy, signing off. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now.